So this is Himalayan balsam. This is an invasive non-native species from the Himalayas. It was brought across by the Victorians and escaped from gardens. It becomes a really big problem for us here in the UK, especially along our waterways, because as you can see, it completely takes over an area. Each one of these individual plants is capable of firing off 800 seeds in a single year, and because of the explosiveness of the seed pods, these can be scattered over 7 metres, which is why it spreads so rapidly. So Himalayan balsam is a really unique looking plant which makes it super easy to identify out in the field. One of the most obvious things with this plant is that it has a completely hollow tube, a little bit like celery or rhubarb. It's really crunchy. When you pull it out, you can also see that it has really shallow roots. And often these have a little bit of a pink tinge to them. As the plant gets older, it gets more pinky red and it becomes really striking. The leaves of the plant are quite wide and spear-shaped, and if you can see, they also have a serration along the edge, which is again quite a good thing to identify and distinguish this plant from other species. The plant grows super tall and it has what are called nodes. This is where the leaves will grow out, but it also is a point where it can break from. So this is important when you're pulling balsam out to recognise where these nodes are. These plants aren't quite ready to have flowers yet, but the flowers are a really beautiful pink colour, sometimes white, and they look a little bit like pea plants, sweet peas. So they're quite deep and bucket shaped. This is again quite unique. Not many of our wildflowers have that kind of shape, so it makes it really easy to distinguish it in the field. Pulling out Himalayan balsam is super easy and you don't need any specialist equipment to do it. Just a pair of gardening gloves to protect your hands from any nettles or brambles that might be in amongst everything. So the best thing to do is to grab the plant as low down as is comfortable for you and pull it out of the ground just like that. Because of the shallow roots, it comes out really easily. However, if the plant snaps off and the roots are left in the ground, just repeat the process and grab it and pull it. Once you have the plant out, we have to make sure we break off the roots below this first node. This makes sure the plant doesn't grow back, just like that. And then we leave everything in one big pile. As you're going throughout the day, it's good to stamp on the pile to crush it up, just to further make sure the plant can't regenerate. So this area here has already been cleared of balsam by our amazing hard-working volunteers. Once it's all been pulled, there should be nothing left around except for the big piles of balsam that will quickly rot down. Because we break off the roots at the first stem, this prevents it from regrowing, so it's safe to leave on the floor. If you don't take off the roots will grow back and the whole plant will come back to life, and that kind of defeats the point of pulling it out. So we leave everything in these big piles and it will soon disappear. Quite quickly, where the bare soil is, the seed bank will regenerate and there'll be a new growth of native plants, which is really beneficial to our insects, birds and bats. A small number of people pulling Himalayan balsam can clear quite a big area in a short amount of time, and every Himalayan balsam removed makes a huge difference because each one of these plants can produce 800 seeds in a single year. There are loads of different ways that you can get involved in helping us to remove Himalayan balsam. One of the ways is through volunteering with us at Nottinghamshire Wildlife Trust, or some of our fellow organisations such as the RSPB or the County Council. We're all trying to work together to get rid of this highly invasive plant. Another way that you can get involved is through using our community toolkit, which will be linked on our website. This toolkit's designed for you to be able to find everything you need to go out in small groups and pull this invasive plant yourselves. Whether it's with an angling group, a paddleboarding group, whether you're a group of friends that just like walking next to the River Trent or the canals, everyone can make a difference.